Y'all can't read my writing. That's 76 million. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to paint a picture for you guys. True story of someone I met. A man finds himself homeless. No money, no food, no family that speaks to him. He's eating out of a dumpster. And he asks himself, how did he get there? Well, most of us have had times in our lives where we've asked ourselves, how did I get here? I personally dealt with alcohol addiction and some drug addiction. And I know many others who either share my story or have a story of their own. You could struggle with chemical dependency, depression, a food addiction, or know someone who has and you're dealing with the hurt from a family member who struggles with an addiction or an issue. Many people just go through their life with their head down. They don't want anybody to know. They feel shame. And I'm telling you, that's no way to live, and it only leads to more hurt. There is a way out. And I'm here to tell you about the way out that I found. 3 years ago, I found myself needing help. I needed friends who could surround me and who understood me. I needed a place to go that I could share my problems with. I found a place called Celebrate Recovery. Maybe it found me. Celebrate Recovery is a biblical and balanced program that helps overcome our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. It is based on the words of Jesus Christ rather than a physiological theory. The program uses 8 principles taken from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, known as the Beatitudes. 20 years ago, a church called Saddleback Church in Lake Forest started Celebrate Recovery with 43 people. It was designed as a program to help people with hurts, habits, and hang-ups find the help they needed. Celebrate Recovery has helped more than 17,000 people, and it has attracted over 70% of their members. Saddleback Church is now the 8th largest church in the United States, and due in huge part to Celebrate Recovery. 85% of the people who attended Celebrate Recovery attended also the church and became members. And nearly half of them are volunteers actively in the church today. There's even a new movie in theaters called Home Run that Saddleback Church backed and is now a national movie that you can go check out yourself in this week if you want. My personal experience with Celebrate Recovery has been one of great healing and growth. Before I joined CR, I attended a church, but I wasn't involved. I just kind of walked in and left. I didn't really care. My life didn't show that I even went to a church. I went through many years of addiction, many mornings where I didn't know how I got home. I even woke up outside of the house one time and had to be dragged in. Very shameful things, things that I didn't want to tell anybody about. After Celebrate Recovery, now I'm one of the key volunteers in my church, and I know hundreds of people, and they're all friends of mine. One thing I've learned is that most everybody wants to be happy, and most everyone has some kind of habit or struggle that they face, or they know someone who does. I can't share specifics, of course, but many people I've come across are hurting in some way that you may not even expect. According to the U.S. government website, 76 million Americans struggle with some form of addiction, depression, food addiction. To break that number down to you, 54 million Americans struggle with a chemical dependency, 14 million struggle with some sort of serious depression, 8 million struggle with food addiction. That's a staggering amount of people. Next time you're at the store in line, look at the person in front of you, look at the person behind you. I guarantee one of those people struggles with an addiction. Celebrate Recovery is similar to AA in many ways. It's a 12-step based program. The thing it has that's different from a 12-step based program is it's Christ-centered. For me, I found that this was what I needed because I grew up in a Christian home and I could relate. And instead of it just being a higher power, I knew who it was. It was my higher power. I'm sharing this with others to offer hope and a way out to anybody who may be struggling with an addiction or know somebody who does. Nobody wants to find themselves eating out of a dumpster and ask how they got there. You don't have to get that far. There is a way out, and in my life I have proven testimony that there is a way out, and celebrate recovery is the way for me. Thank you.